I tried really hard not to make this video because I feel like pretty much everybody in the black metal YouTube space has already talked about these videos 1,000 times. Um, but I have them and I've listened to them several times and I've got a lot of feelings. I succumbed to the hype of these albums, and I tend to do that a lot with music. Is something gets hyped, I listen to it, I generally like it, I buy it, I promote it, blah blah blah. This hype I was not on board with for the last couple of years. I avoided it as much as possible. Whatever else. I even owned the first album I'm about to show and then sold it immediately after because I just wasn't sold on it yet. And then here I am again, owning both of them now. And I fucking hate myself for it. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about the one-man black metal project, or band, project band from Ukraine, Kekt Arak, I think is how you say the name. Night in Love and Pale Swordsman. So this is some lo-fi raw black metal that has been super hyped in the scene. People have just lost their absolute minds over it. It's sold out super quick. It was incredibly hard to find. It was reselling for stupid prices. I bought this, what did this come out last year or something? I managed to snag a copy of this that I ended up selling to a friend of mine that really wanted it. Because the first listen through, I wasn't sold on it, and I was like, whatever, I don't care to have this in my collection. I'm not gonna fall to the hype of it, and I got rid of it. And then they repressed them, and they're very easy to find. I got mine through Arcane Altar. There are several other places that have these. Bandcamp still has them available. They're $20 a piece. Like, they're there. They're not selling out. They're easy to find. And I'm scouring and I see them available and I'm like, it's one of those things where you keep seeing it pop up and you keep seeing people talking about it and you're just like, why do I not like this? Like, so one day I sat down and I bought the digital versions on Bandcamp because I was tired of getting told, like, hey, you've listened to this enough, you need to buy it. And I listened to Night in Love several times, and then I moved over to Pale Swordsman. This one came out a couple years ago, like 2-3 years ago, 2019. This one came out last year. Immediately, the album covers. This one, not as much. This one, I fucking hate it. Sorry. What's your name? Crying Orc? Is that what you go by? Yeah, Crying Orc. If you somehow stumble upon this video, which I doubt it, don't take offense to that. I don't know. It's just not, I'm not sold on the album cover, which shouldn't judge things by the album cover, but album covers tend to make me not listen to things if I think it's stupid looking. So that was a big thing for me, and I try not to be that judgmental about it, but there's just something about this album cover that really just, I wasn't like, what is this? This one, not as much. This one's a little bit more of the typical black metal. Not necessarily maybe the album cover, with the exception of Dark Throne I can think of right now, just off the top of my head. Something you would see, but more of like inner sheet pictures, you know? But anyway, I bought these albums, and I immediately thought to myself, I'm probably not going to hang on to them. I'm probably going to sell them on my distro. This has been the number one request from people on my YouTube, my Instagram, my Facebook. Have you heard these albums? What do you think about them? Do you own them? Are you going to sell them? Do you have it? Blah, blah, blah. I am not kidding. This has been the number one request. People are obsessed with these. And after listening to them and sitting on it, I can honestly say, like, I like the albums, and I think that there are things about it that hold substance within, like, the raw black metal scene, and there's some replayability with them. However, my admiration for them is not nearly as deep as some people. And I think when I talk about music on here, I only talk about things I love. People kind of hate that, so I figured why not try and do something a little bit different this time and talk about things something I like, but I don't quite understand why people love it as much as they do. And maybe we can have a discussion about it in the comments. A nice discussion, please. Jesus Christ, you people. But for the vinyl heads, for the people that want to see the vinyl, I'll show it right now. This is a repress. These are out on, I forgot the label already, Sacred Bones Records. Like I said, I got mine through Arcane Altar. They're still available on Bandcamp. I've seen them on other websites as well, other distros, Discogs. They're all over. $20 a piece, $21 a piece. Don't spend any more than that. Seriously. This is the silver version, which is a really nice, really nice vinyl. I think it looks great. It sounds very good. And it comes in a printed inner sheet of just a very basic printer sheet of the song titles and then an image. No lyrics or anything like that, which is totally fine. And then there is a download code, which I already own the digital versions of this, so pause the video. Come on, camera. And it's yours. So this is the first album, Night in Love. I would say out of the two, this is the one I prefer. I think this one's better than Pale Swordsman. And I think a lot of that has to do with Pale Swordsman has a lot of the same sound, a lot of the same type of atmosphere, a lot of the same sound as this one. I think it's a continuation of this. There's not much... I don't feel a whole lot of delineation between these two. So yeah. I think this one, just for me, has a little bit more resonation. I feel a little bit more like I'm listening to Transylvanian Hunger, earlier Dark Throne albums on this. There's a little bit of Burzum that I feel on this, which, God, fucking hell, I just mentioned Burzum. Oh my God, cancel me. But Feliciphum, I cannot say that name. That's definitely what I hear on this. There's a lot of acoustic guitar and there's a lot of ambience on this, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful raw black metal album, which I think that's the thing that I'm having a hard time grasping. When I listen to my raw black metal, I want shit can sounding vocals that are just off in the distance and you barely hear them, but you also get those frosty, aggressive riffs, and that's what you're listening to mostly. And that's the type of lo-fi black metal that I really enjoy. Like Sulfuric Night is one of the ones I'm thinking about. Even like Black Celice, like that's super, super lo-fi, but there are riffs that you can just distinguish out of that. Like even earlier Lamp of Murmur sounds. Like I'm not a raw black metal connoisseur by any means. It's a very new genre to me within the last 2 years. But that's the type of black metal, like raw black metal I like. That's even the type of black metal that I typically enjoy, is those frosty, aggressive, high, shrill screams with the very fast tremolo picking, similar to like the early 90s black metal of Dark Throne and you know, stuff like that. Burzum, sorry. Stuff like that. And I think that is definitely on these albums, but there's also this like very like emotional ambience about it, atmosphere about it, that's a little bit different. Like it's atmospheric raw black metal, and that's probably something maybe I need to get used to hearing. I guess you could say Passage d'Hiver, I can never say their name, I'm so sorry, is definitely atmospheric raw black metal with all of the atmosphere that are on those albums of the wind blowing and stuff like that, but that's like a different type of atmosphere. This is like pianos and acoustic guitar and stuff like that. So that's what really kind of makes this different. And again, not a raw black metal connoisseur. I don't know a whole lot about it. I only listen to like what is popular and what people suggest to me. So there might be somebody that's going to come in and say, oh, this sounds exactly like this. It's just a copy and paste and rip off of this, which is what I want you to tell me, essentially, so that I can go back and listen to that. I like to go back and listen to what influenced new records. I don't have a problem with newer artists that create records that sound similar to past things that have been created. Like, that's what influences are. That's what happens with music and a lot of things, art, music, movies, everything that it, you know, that's fine with me. Some people really hate that. That is not me. So I understand why people love these albums as much as they do. I understand why they consider them to be masterpieces. To me, in my opinion, they're not like, they're good. And I'm not going to say they're bad. I really enjoy them. They definitely make me think, and there's definitely an emotional aspect to them, which I think is the purpose of that. Like who hurt this guy? That's what I want to know. Like, who fucking killed this guy? Because there's some pain in this music that he has made. Pain with beauty infused into it, with the pianos and the guitars and the clean singing. There's some clean vocals on this one and a little bit on this one. So, like, I guess I think that that's what threw me for a loop, is that it's beautiful, raw black metal. I'm still sick. Gotta love it. So, yeah, this has been probably one of the more painstaking albums for me to get into, and it's been, like, challenging for me. Because like I really, really wanted to just jump on that hype and be excited about a black metal project that so many people were about, and it just wasn't clicking with me. It clicks now. There's definitely a lot of things I enjoy about both of these albums, notably the acoustics, the atmosphere that are added to it, how beautiful these songs are, but how painful and sad these songs are as well. Like, that mix is odd. It's odd. It's just, yeah, it's something I've had a hard time coughing into the mic is great. I've been trying to adjust to. I'm gonna take a drink now. I gotta love being sick and recording a video. So how do you feel about these albums? Do you enjoy them? Do you like them? Let me know. So that was Night in Love. Pale Swordsman is pretty much a lot of the same. Cover, back, and then printed inner sheet, song titles, and then silver copy. They're the same. Not a whole lot of delineation there. Is there a download code on this one? There is not. Interesting. Maybe that's what I used to get the digital copy. I don't remember. Anyway, these are new in collection. I feel like they've been a conversation topic amongst a lot of people within my inner circle of YouTube realm and Instagram and stuff like that. And overall opinions on it are Night in Love is definitely my favorite one out of the two. I love the acoustic pieces to start. The acoustic song to start, the raw black metal scream. The second song, like I said, I definitely hear some Burzum Darkthrone influences in there. There's a little bit of repetition that I could do without. Some of the drums and stuff like that are a little bit like they just repeat a lot of the same, like, cadence within the song. Same thing with the vocal style, which leads me to think that maybe this is just one long story, and all these songs are meant to just be all blended together and sound similar, which is very well likely the case. I don't know the whole background of these things, but that's probably the one thing that I have a complaint on. It's just the repetition that kind of happens on this album for the more aggressive songs that are not the atmospheric-y songs. I do like the vocal style. It's very present. Like, you hear it perfectly. It's there. Which with lo-fi black metal, I'm used to more hearing the vocals are kind of a little bit more covered up over the other instruments, but it's there. You can hear it perfectly. It's got that lo-fi sound, so if you're not into lo-fi black metal, you're not going to like this at all. There's definitely not that polished production quality about it at all. Like I said, for me, with raw black metal, a lot of it does end up sounding the same. There are definitely the ones out there that I truly, truly enjoy. I think that they are the best that I've heard that I will listen to all the time, and I have those several ones like Sanguine Relic, Message de Hyver, Sulfuric Night. Those are the three that like I'm calling out there. Like Psalm, I think, is another one that recently I just started getting into. Like those are the types of more rawer sounding black metal that I really, really enjoy. I listen to all the time. Still listen to quite a bit. In terms of re-listenability to these, I think it's there. Like I say, I've been listening to these for a couple weeks now since I've had them. It's been on a rotation, and I can see myself coming back next year around December when I'm in the frosty mood and popping these back on and listening to them, which I think is exactly what the artist would hope that I would do. And I'm not like one of those people that's super critical about what I listen to. I like it, and I replay it. If I don't like it, I don't ever touch it again. I typically don't struggle to have things click with me. And for whatever reason, I knew that there was something about this that I liked, but I wasn't sure, like, how much I liked it. It was one of those challenging things for me. And for once, I think the hype might have killed it a little bit for me, which generally doesn't happen. It generally doesn't happen. When something's overhyped, it doesn't kill it for me. This was a rare example of that. But yeah, are they the best albums out there? I don't think so. Like, I think the hype is a little bit too much, to be honest with you. But I do think they're good. I'm not going to, like, rank them on a scale of 1 to 10. I don't see the purpose in that. But I more made this video to just have a discussion and talk about them because, like I said, this has been a very popular suggestion that has been made to me, and people have just been, like, blowing it up and being like, hey, Melanie, what do you think about it? What do you think about it? Did you own it? Did you buy it? You're going to sell it on a distro, blah, 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 blah. And so I finally I saw it available. I finally started listening to it, and I was like, okay, I guess I get it. I don't really know. So these things happen, but I am really curious to what people think about these albums, especially my viewers who are mostly, I think, here for death metal, but there's definitely that black metal side of it. What you think about them? How do you think they stand up to the future of like re-listenability, like 10 years from now? Do you think these will be considered a classic? And I just dropped a piece of paper, like my notebook. Sorry. Do you think it'll be a classic? Do you think people will still be hunting for these? These are things that I've been thinking more about as I buy albums and being a little bit more conscious about what I buy, and selling things that I think that are just, I don't need them right now. So yeah. Conversation topic, kind of a review. Just wanted to show off some new things I got in regards to black metal because I haven't shown off black metal a whole lot on here lately. And yeah, that's all that I had on this lovely Friday of the first week of January. I am coming back to Heavy Metallurgy tonight with Ben, Brain Smasher, Alan, and Marty. We're going to do a viewer's choice, keep or reap. And basically what that means is 2 albums are stacked up against each other. We have to pick which one we keep and which one we never listen to again. Obviously, this is all, not real. Like, come on now. Like, if I say I'm not going to listen to the album ever again, like, I'm going to listen to it again. But, like, this is just, a fun thing that they do on here. But the viewers choose the albums to pick between, which can be painful, especially if you know me and my favorite bands. I'm sure there's going to be some people coming into the chat and be like, Melanie loves this band and also loves this band. We're going to stack them up together and make her choose a difficult decision. And it often is very comical. It's good content. And those shows have been a lot of fun in the past. So there's several other streams that they've done like that in the last few months. Go back and check out them and watch them. They're a good time. So yeah, I'm excited. Hop over 9 p.m. Eastern time on the Heavy Metallurgy YouTube. I shared it in a community post yesterday. Head over there. It'll be a good time. I love being on that stream. I'm happy to be back. Happy New Year once again. Let me know what you think about these albums, and I will see you in the next one.